It's the news that much of the world is waking up to. The invasion of Ukraine has escalated overnight. More Russian airstrikes, tanks and troops called in as explosions rung out across the country.
As rockets rain down, the death toll is rising now. Many queuing up on roads, at banks, desperate to flee. Now world leaders are uniting in their response. US President Joe Biden addressed the world moments ago. Here is some of what he had to say.
This aggression cannot go unanswered. America stands up to bullies. We stand up for freedom. Russia propaganda outlets will keep trying to hide the truth and claim success for its military operation against a made-up threat. We will be involved. The only thing that I'm convinced of is if we don't stop now, he'll be emboldened.
And for more, we're joined by Ken Herbert, who is an Aussie living in Kiev. Thank you very much for your time. Tell us exactly where are you, what's your situation and what's happening in Kiev?
So I'm basically in the centre of Kiev here. Everything is surprisingly quiet. Haven't heard anything since much earlier this morning. And for a weekday, the streets are very quiet. We have also had curfew come into effect about 20 minutes ago.
Ken, what's the mood of the community where you are at the moment? Is there a sense of panic? People packing their bags and leaving?
There are a lot of people on the move, but there's also those people who don't have that option. So as far as I know, the metro stations, which double as bomb shelters, are quite busy.
Ken, why are you still there? Did you think about leaving?
So my original plan was that I wasn't going to leave until there was a direct threat to Kiev, expecting that things would not escalate this quickly. Now that it has happened, my initial plan didn't work out, so I'm working on backup options to get out now.
Ken, do Ukrainians think the world is doing enough to help them?
I don't think so. A lot of them do not understand what sanctions will do. They believe in direct physical conflict. So
do the Ukrainians want troops on the ground? Do they want airstrikes? What are they saying to you?
I haven't heard a lot myself. I've been very secluded here today, but the general consensus that I know from the people that I am friends with here is that, yeah, they would prefer some kind of physical intervention.
Ken, you've been in that community a while. Is there any truth behind Putin explaining that Ukrainians want to be part of Russia, that there is that they don't want to be a democracy? Any truth whatsoever in that?
There is almost none whatsoever. You have a small part of the community that may still be pro-Russia, but the general idea here is that most people, especially as you go from the centre to the west, are definitely pro-Europe.
And what about these two states that have been held by Russian rebels? What's the feeling amongst people in Ukraine about what should happen with those two states?
The majority of people still believe that those two states are Ukraine.
Okay. All right. Even the people in those states?
I have actually been to both of those two states last year and spoken to a few people there. And generally, yes, a lot of people, there are enough people there who are pro-Ukraine.
Okay. All right. When services, you're saying Metro's being used as bomb shelters at the moment. What about the rest of day-to-day life? Are shops still open? Are people moving around? Businesses still open? Or is there a complete lockdown?
As far as I know, businesses were still open. I haven't been outside since about 10 a.m, but when I was out there, businesses were still going.
Yeah. Are you scared?
A little bit. It's very strange. In one moment, it's a very scary event that's going on, but in the same moment, it's very surreal and serene. It's very quiet here. I spent my day making bread and doing dishes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Keeping your mind off what's happening on the broader scale. Ken, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Kiev resident Anna Andrus joins us now from her mother-in-law's apartment. Thank you very much for your time. The reason you're there is because the apartment has a cellar you can hide in. How dangerous is the situation where you are?
It's a little bit misunderstanding. We live in ordinary Soviet apartment as a family, but my mother-in-law lives in a private house also in Kiev. And this morning, at 5 a.m. we woke up this morning because it's still evening here. You were saying that they invaded yesterday, but it's still today for me. So this morning at 5 a.m. I woke up because of explosions and we picked up our kids. We have two sons, 6-year-old and 18-month-old, and moved to my mother-in-law because she has the underground level of a private house where the vegetables can be kept.
How scared are you at the moment, and are you prepared to leave?
We are still thinking, did we do the right choice that we stayed here and didn't move? We are scared because the house located not far from the military airport, which is extremely important for Russians to take over, so that where they can put the troops and move to Kyiv. So all the day long we have heard the shootings and explosions, and we have seen military helicopters flying over our house. I can't tell you which were the Ukrainian or Russians because I can't recognize by the silhouette of them. And I think everything that I'm telling you about is explains and tells how scared we are.
We are seeing thousands of people, Anna, head to the border to get out. What made you stay? Was it because you had little kids?
I was born in Kyiv. My mother was born in Kyiv. My grandmother was born and raised in Kyiv. This is my land. This is where I belong to. And I'm Russian speaking, by the way. My native language is Russian. I don't need Russian tanks to protect me. I'm absolutely safe in Ukraine being Russian speaking person. And this is where my ancestors are buried. This is my land. I have the army to protect me. And this is my choice. I don't know if it is the right choice or not, but this is our choice and we are responsible for it.
Are you prepared to fight Russia?
Depends. Depends how. So far, I believe in my army. So far, I believe in professionals who can do that. But I have read a couple articles about how to be a partisan.
Okay. Anna, we wish you all the very best. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Pray for Ukraine.
We certainly will. Anna there in Kiev, very close to that major battle going on right at this minute for a major military air force base there.